on this wonderful Mother's Day. Today is going to be a day for buyers. We're going to go through our rotation here. We're going market update, buyers, sellers, and then Bs. That's going to be the plan. We're going to see what happens. We're going to try to sneak some extra B lives in the middle and extra content in the middle too. But the idea today is to look for homes that one of our viewers wants. I did something with my notes here. So we're going to be looking for deals that our buyers are looking for, trying to meet their criteria, and doing it live here so that you can kind of see what's going on and what it takes to kind of get a sense for what you can buy. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these tools we're going to be using here are going to be real estate tools, right? Realtor stuff. So, not all of this is going to be things that you can do yourself. But the idea here is to give our viewers an idea as to what they're looking for, what they can find, and make sure that we're trying to get some general public information out there, right? So, overall, right now the market's acting really weird. We're seeing some homes having crazy, crazy bidding wars, and we're seeing others have no action at all, sitting for months. So, making sense of all of it can seem really challenging, but what's really going on is that there's just not a lot of buyers. There's also not a lot of sellers. So everything's just generally slower. But the main thing that we need to worry about is finding homes that are deals and not panicking and getting in on the bidding wars that some houses are having. Now, I know that as the seller, you want the bidding wars, right? But we're talking about buyers today, and we're being buyer centric, buyer focused. So our goal today is really to help you guys find good deals and get into good homes. So again, if you are looking for something, if you're looking at this after the recording, let me know, and we can possibly look for a home for you live later. Or if you are, wanting to actually get something, you're pretty serious and you want to work with me, let me know. I'll be doing it more privately, right? So the first client that we're really going to be looking for today has has an apartment complex, or lives in an apartment complex, right? Lives in an apartment. So for them, they're looking for something. I wonder if I can actually share this. You know what? Give me 1 second. Let me see. I don't know if I can do this. We're going to try. This is a new trick. We're kind of upgrading our stream every time we every time we come in. So let's see if this will work. Open on Chrome. Always. Allow. While using the app. I'm just wondering what the easiest way for me to put up what this client is looking for is. Like, can I add a source? What does that do? Can I... Ready to join. What if I change my settings here? Paper. Join stream. Ooh, we got feedback. Gotta make that quiet. Sorry, always technical difficulties here. So, that's still echoing. Why is that still echoing? You know what? Never mind. We're just not going to do that. Thought that'd work. Okay, never mind. We're just going to do this the old-fashioned way with pen and paper. So I have a client right now that lives in an apartment complex. They're looking for something, and they don't want to spend much more than they already are on their new condo to live in. Now, they're okay spending a large down payment. They have a family member that's willing to pitch in for a significant portion of it. So we need to help them find basically a condo for around $3,000 a month. So if I take this guy here and we share our screen, always going to be challenging for me today, but let's give this a go. Share. I switch tabs. Okay, cool. So if we hop on over to our good old fashioned realtor.com, it's not the best calculator in the world. Sorry, let's see. Realtor.com mortgage calculator. Okay. I'm hoping that's keeping that as the big screen. So if we look at our mortgage calculator realtor.com, this is one of the better ones I've found to get you pretty darn close to the price. Let's look at 91320. Most condos right now are, let's say, around $450,000. If they do a So interest rates are kind of wonky right now. I'm going to say it's about right. One of the biggest things when using these calculators is you want to make sure the interest rate is correct because that's going to really mess you up if it's not. Okay. HOA fees is going to also be a big shock for you. We're not doing that. Why is that showing it as cash? Home price 450. Property tax. Okay, so we're not going to do 37.5%. It's weird that it doesn't let you put in a percent, and the times I've done this before, it did let me. But let's say $450,000 times 0.0 or times 0.2. So we're going to do $90,000. That brings our payment to right about $3,000 a month. So we're going to be a little bit higher than we want to be with the HOA. Not a lot higher because, again, they're trying to save money at the same time. One thing to kind of keep in mind when you're talking about buying versus renting is that if you're renting, the money goes away every month. So you're both making your payment, but also putting money away to save for your down payment, right? Making your monthly payments to your rental. So we want to find a place that, even if it's slightly more expensive, you're better off spending, a couple hundred more dollars on your mortgage than you would like than spending a low rent down payment or low rental amount with a big amount of money that you're putting into savings. So for these guys, we're probably looking around 450 is going to depend on the HOA. Okay. So, last time we tried using the KV Core website through my website. Today we're going to be boring and we're just going to do this through Zillow. And they really want something just in Ventura County. They don't really care. They would prefer to be in Thousand Oaks area, but they don't have to be. They're a little flexible because they just really need a home, which I think a lot of people can relate to right now. So first of all, we're not really going to be looking at houses. We're not going to be looking at multifamily. We don't want to look at manufactured homes. We're not looking at apartments. We're not looking at land. We're looking at townhouses and condos for this price range. The big reason for that is we just know houses aren't going to be right for the most part. Multifamily, again, not really what we're looking for. We don't want the rest of the stuff showing up. Manufactured homes in particular, we really don't like because the HOA or land lease or whatever it's called for that group of buildings is typically really expensive and will really mess you up. And if you can avoid them, you absolutely should. So they've got at least one kid. I believe they have two kids. So they wanted at least a 2-bedroom. They really need at least 1.5 bath. And in terms of price, we're going to say it's a maximum of 450,000 because that's going to be about where they're comfortable at. With the HOA, I think we're going to kind of exceed what they're looking for. So when we look, fairly typical to not see a whole lot, going on in general for this price range, but we typically are going to see Oxnard, Port Hueneme, and Newbury Park. Newbury Park actually has some of the most affordable housing in the whole county, which is kind of counterintuitive. I think a lot of people don't know that. Oxnard and Port Hueneme are usually close behind. Check, nothing going on. Wonderful. Okay, so when we look, we only have 3 choices right now. So is that because of bathroom count? If I change that, do we get some more options? We get 8 results. All right. So, when we're looking for homes for our clients or for yourself, it's going to be important to get more results rather than less results. Okay. So what we really don't want is to go, here's the one home on the market that's exactly like you want, and then they don't like it and then it goes away. We'd rather have people seeing more stuff. And a lot of the time, a very common problem that we're going to come across in this home search is that people want a lot and they're going to end up getting a little, or they have to bring their budget up. In this case, the 20% down is going to be about the limit, and they want to be around $3,000 a month. So I think these are going to be realistically what we're looking at. So, this is kind of where our skill and experience is going to start coming in, because I know a lot of these complexes. I've shown a lot of these complexes. And so, for example, these ones here in Newbury Park, is that on the right side? That is on the right side, just in the very back. These ones in Newbury Park don't necessarily always have laundry, right? And there's a lot of other little nuanced things like that we have to keep an eye out for. I do know that my client would love to have laundry, and so if it fits the budget, they're probably not going to want that one, right? So we're going to, let's see here. So we're going. Okay. So we're going to have to weed through these listings and figure out which, if any, of these are a good fit. Now, again, if you're watching this, let me know if you are looking for a home, if there's something that you want to find. If there are, we can always look for what you guys are looking for instead. But for now, we're looking for my client until someone else has a different thing they'd like to help find. So when we're looking at these are all pretty much within the price range. And this is one of the bigger issues that we typically come across right here, is when we look at price. So when we're looking, even Zillow itself has it in chunks of like $100,000, right? This is why when we're picking a listing price, we want to use round numbers that make sense. Because let's say, for example, this price was raised to $460,000. Didn't catch more, but sometimes it does, right? So sometimes by having little tweaks like that, you can find homes that you didn't initially think might have been an option. And I'm wondering, because I've never actually seen it do monthly payment before. That feels new. So I wonder if I set it for, let's see how good this works. If we do like whatever, 2750 to like 3500, what does that do? Down payment, no down payment. What was it? It was 90,000. 90,000. Does this actually work? Apply. They got rid of a bunch. Yeah, I don't like when they add these new features. They can really mess you up. $90,000. I wonder if it's because it's counting closing costs. If we raise that up. Okay. That's interesting. That's not too bad. So the biggest thing that you've got to keep in mind when you're using that feature, I guess, because I've never used it before, is that your 20% down isn't the full amount that you're going to put down. It's going to also include other closing costs. So it's actually asking how much money you're actually willing to put down, which is super interesting. So yeah, we can run with this. This is close enough. So when we look at these, one other thing we have to be very mindful of whenever we're searching, but especially in lower income, is going to be that we need to hide the 55 plus communities, because this is a new family and a lot of the affordable housing is often in 55 plus communities. So now we get 8 results, 7 results left. We got 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, 17 days, 12 days, price cut. And this one on the beach has been for sale forever. Wonder why it's letting it search all the way up to 500 though. Those seem too high. I'm actually really curious about how it's picking these. So hold on. If I go back to list price of 460 and I apply, we still have 7. So it's the same ones? Not the same ones. Their thing is janky. I wonder if it has some kind of HOA or something it's taken into account. Huh. Okay. Well, anyways, we can work with these two. This is just fine. So first of all, not first of all, let's just take a look. 1971, One garage, 350 monthly HOA fee. This is the big part that we want to look at for all of these, aside from pictures, is what's the HOA fee? Because we're going to see that vary a lot on these different properties. Huge red flags every time we open up a listing and there's no inside pictures. Welcome, single story, no neighbors above. Don't miss out. See it today. No pictures of the inside, just pictures of the water. Not gonna say that it wouldn't be a good fit, but sending it to my clients would do me no good because there's nothing to see, right? So maybe not a bad pick, but not a good pick. And this is a lesson both for realtors, well, for everyone, right? Realtors, buyers, sellers. This type of home can sometimes be a great deal, but sometimes it can be a complete waste of time. So you have to be really mindful as a realtor or a seller to put your marketing up. As a buyer, sometimes these can be really good deals because the current buyers aren't going to be interested, right? There's not a lot to see. Maybe it's not worth it. Perfect for first time or investment property. Don't miss out. See it today, right? Don't miss out. There's no pictures, but don't miss it. So Helen's a bummer. Let's see this one. Do we have any pictures here? Nothing. Again, so when we're looking at these low price ranges, I think that one of the most frustrating things in general for most buyers is going to be that they have no idea what they're walking into, because a lot of realtors feel like they're not getting a full commission, so they don't want to use pictures or do things right. Really frustrating. If you're not going to get a realtor that doesn't like actually market the home, what are you spending your money on? You know what I mean? Anyways, it is coming soon, so this one's a little bit more generous, so we'll keep an eye on it. Here we got Newbury Park. These are the ones that don't have laundry machines necessarily. So if we do have inside pictures, which we do, the first thing I want to look for is there laundry in unit? What is that? What happened? Is that one of the bedrooms? I don't even know what I'm looking at. I mean, there's a garage. So we got the garage. We got the living room. Got an oven. So it looks like you go upstairs and is it even a 2-bedroom? Are those the 2 bedrooms? Looks like the same closet. Again, when you have people taking pictures, you've got to make it easy for buyers to figure out what they're looking at, good, bad, or ugly, because people like me can't make sense of it. So this looks like it might be like a master suite, but they like cut out the floor so they could have wires come up. So it looks like no laundry. It's definitely in rough shape, but it is only $350. At least according to this, with 20% down, your monthly payment would only be around $2,500, which is about the same as you would pay for an apartment right now with no laundry. So that doesn't seem too awful. I'm definitely concerned about some of the repairs that need to be done, because like I genuinely don't know what's going on with that. Like you have to redo that whole room just about. If it's fuzzy like that, it needs love. Let's see what they say. Welcome to the beautiful Canal Creek. This 2-story condo features 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and attached 2-car garage shared. So you gotta be careful again. Attached 2-car garage shared. So you only get 1 parking spot. You only get half the garage. It's shared with your neighbor. With storage closet, assigned parking for 1 vehicle, attached on-site laundry facility, so it's not in the room. Low HOA. So what's our HOA at? 290. So I mean, if this is all you can afford, it's not a bad option. I don't dislike this community. Let's see, we got anybody? Okay. I don't dislike this community. It's gonna need some love, though. I would say that anyone that's gonna get it probably needs to dump some money in. For my client, I don't think it's a good fit. I'm not opposed to sending it to them, but it's not like the aha, I found it that we're looking for, right? Um, where's that? 425 is down there. Let's see. Now you see, for me, this at least so far looks a lot better. 355 monthly HOA. So one of the biggest things that a lot of home buyers, when they're looking at properties, will freak out about is going to be like here these cabinets and countertops. Now the countertop looks okay, oven looks okay, but the cabinets look awful, right? They look super super dated. So one of the easiest things you can do, because one of the first things most buyers think is we're going to rip all these out and put all new ones in. Don't do that. When we're can I make it any bigger? Can't make it any bigger. So when we're looking at this, what really makes cabinets look bad, if we're being honest, is going to be the paint and then maybe the handles. So for a really affordable amount of money, as long as it's not falling apart, you can totally get this painted and get the handles replaced and they'll look brand new and it will make this kitchen look phenomenal. So, when we're looking for things to fix, carpet and paint are the easiest things to fix that get the best ROI and make you the happiest in the home. So, I that's really not a major deterrent for me. Again, unless it's really messed up when we go and look at it, because for very little money we can make that kitchen look really really good. And again, realtor tips: get the table out of the way. Like, people want to see the house; they want to look at the table. And also as a seller, same thing. If you actually took, not that much money and got these cabinets painted, man, you could sell this place for a lot more just on that because the kitchen's one of the biggest money rooms in the house. Um, Popcorn ceiling. Some people are passionate about popcorn ceilings. I'm not. I think they're fine. I know that they kind of date homes, but it knocks down sound, which is the whole point. And I've got a toddler that makes a lot of noise. You know what I mean? So for me, the popcorn ceilings aren't a deal breaker. I know they are for some people. If we have to get rid of them, we've got people we can totally do that. Um, and again, this is kind of one of the situations where when you're talking with your realtor, you want to like stage because like all of this stuff that's in here, the couches should go, the curtains should go. This place would show so much better if it was empty because it just totally ages this place, which is really bad as the seller, but as the buyer, it's great because a lot of people aren't going to be able to see past these horrible curtains. And again, pull the curtains out of the way, right? These are things that as a buyer is really good to see because a lot of people are looking at this and go, ew. But maybe for you, if you can see past some of the issues, this might be a better pick. For the price, let's see, does it have laundry located, spacious kitchen? I didn't see any laundry stuff. No idea if there's a laundry room. So it might be in the same boat as the last property was, possibly. Um, I would have to call the other agent and see if I would recommend this one. Biggest difference is going to be Oxnard versus Thousand Oaks for about $50,000. It's pretty comparable in terms of square footage, but this place to me, for someone buying, moving in, living there, seems to be in much better shape. There's definitely a few things to touch up, like you can even see the paint here is a little rough, right? But I think with a little bit of paint and a little bit of love, this place could look really nice versus the other one that we were just looking at. That needs like a new floor and needs a lot more love. So not only is it less money, but it's, seems to me to be higher quality. It does say it has 2 carport spaces. We don't see anything else here, so maybe this one even has more parking. And again, the word's out on if there's laundry in the unit or not. Usually there are, but I want to definitely double check that. If we have laundry, if we have legitimately more than one parking spot, so far I think this is the best pick on El Dorado. Let's see, Sharon, we got 46 days on market. Now, once we get to, especially in these low income places, over a certain number of days on market, it usually means something's wrong. We've got a slightly higher HOA fee at $500. Welcome to this condo, desired top location. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single story, walking distance to park, shopping centers, only 45 minutes from Los Angeles, Santa Barbara. Okay, so again, no information on this at all. I could hop on the MLS. Let's hop on the MLS and see what's wrong with it. There's got to be something. There's a reason why this hasn't sold. It's 1,100 square feet, slightly bigger, 3 bedrooms. Yeah, right here. Subject to seller purchasing home of choice. So basically, this isn't really for sale because the seller needs to buy or replace a property before they'd accept anything. So if you want to buy this, you're going to be in for the long haul. Sounds like it's pretty rough inside. Um, there's a lot of other options. I'm not going to recommend it for pretty much anyone unless they really feel like being patient and going through that. And again, for these sellers, get some pictures up, get some good quality marketing going, and get rid of that contingency. Sell your home, do what you got to do to get into the new place. It's killing you. You're never gonna move if you make it hard for people to buy and hard for people to see your listing. So we're not even gonna consider that one. We don't even know if it's worth it. Saviors Road. Now we know Saviors Road is not necessarily my favorite part of town, but most of these communities are gated and most of them really have been getting a lot nicer over time because stuff's just so expensive. The people that live even in the rougher parts of town, they tend to be getting nicer every day because people move out and the new people moving in are not the same folks that were keeping this neighborhood rough to begin with. But again, we have the same issue. First time buyer's opportunity, price per fast sale, 1 car, shared detached garage and patio. So we have almost no information on this listing at all. We've got no pictures, not even going to send it over to them, especially considering what part of town it is. Does this estimate really mess them up? This estimate makes it seem right. It needs some love. And I believe this one's 55 plus, isn't it? But not marked properly. Let me double check this one because I think it's 55 plus. It's not 2. What number? 10? 10. Is this senior? 5. Where is it? Senior community? No. Okay. So it's not a senior community. Cute upper level balcony, 2-bed, 1 bath in the heart of Thousand Oaks. Perfect for first time buyer. The kitchen's been updated, new dishwasher, new paint. Oaks Mall. Good part of town. So estimate has it at 419, so it's probably a little high. What's that HOA fee? 443, so a little bit higher HOA fee. Look, the inside looks like it's clean. Looks like we have stuff painted. Looks like it's moving ready. Could live with not being as crooked. This one's solid. Wonder why it hasn't moved. So before I will send this one to my client, one of my biggest questions is going to be why, because I know they're going to ask me first thing is why hasn't this one sold? Because it's been on market for 132 days. That's not good. So let's take a look real quick and see if we can double check the price and see if the seller is totally crazy. Do we have any messages? No messages yet. And again, guys, if you have something that you are looking for or something that you want to buy, please let me know. More than happy to look up anything you guys want to get, from investments to just about anything. So let's win the offer. and Thousand Oaks. Next. Let's get some comps. Let's bring this in to a half mile. Yeah, half mile work. We can play with the bed count slightly because homes are usually priced more based on square footage than they are in bedroom count. Not always, but usually. That gives us 9 matches. Let's see what these 9 matches look like. View results. What have we got? We got a 425 there, a 495. We got one that's pending for 489, one that's sold for 489, 505. So these are, yeah, they're all in the fours. Ones that are pending are in the high fours. Looks like they're closing for right around 5. What were we at here? 425. That looks like a solid deal. This might be the one to show the client. So for my buyer, the two I'm for sure showing them is going to be this one here to bring this one to their attention, right? And then that other one we saw, not that one. That one's junky. Probably this one. They really want to be in Thousand Oaks because they live in Newbury Park. So I think that this is for sure going to be the one to bring to them. And then our big question is, why hasn't it sold, right? So if they do like it, we're going to have to go and ask the listing agent what the heck is going on. But this looks like a good one. It looks like it's a low price. Again, what am I missing here? 92 square feet smaller for 495, 43 square feet smaller for. Okay, why did this one sell? Just because updated? Same complex. It's updated for sure. That made it worth $70,000 more. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, this one to me is the winner, especially because it's been on the market a long time. There's going to be a good opportunity to come in probably below the asking price. So, for this one, again, now that we've kind of identified what we're getting into here, if we look at, where's that? Not price and tax. Is it price and tax? Monthly cost. Look at our monthly cost. Again, we're going to play with Zillow here. If we change our home price, let's say we offer at $400, because we can. Down payment $80,000. Interest rates aren't at 6.3. One of the things you'll notice about Zillow is it almost always puts in the rate super, super low so that you'll ask more information and give them your data. Is the HOA right? Let's see, mortgage insurance, HOA fees 420. Yeah, so I mean, for this one right here, let's say we can get it for 400. Maybe we can't. Maybe we can. Maybe their interest rate's a little bit different, but they want to be right around 3,000. And here we go. This is exactly what our goal is. So I'll be letting my client know, and then we will be seeing if we can make this happen. Maybe it's something where they don't like it for another reason, but if it was me, this would be my top pick for this client. So let's see here. Stop sharing. So what do you guys think? Do you think that would be the right home for this client? Do you think there's anything that you would like me to help you find? Let me know in the comments there on the side. And past that, that's more or less what I was going to talk about, unless people have questions. If you do, absolutely pop them in here. I'll even put up the chat overlay so we can see anything that anyone has to say. And we're going to hang out for 10 more minutes. I might actually look at one more thing that I've got someone else looking for. But I got to click a couple tabs here before I bring that all up, because I do have a client that does want me to keep an eye on investment properties and multifamily properties. There's a couple different reasons why. Maybe we can talk about that. Maybe that could be fun. If people have time, we can look at a couple of investment properties. Now, let's see here. Let's give everyone a minute. Okay. So when it comes to investment properties, one of the biggest problems that I have found is that no platform really lets you search for multifamilies very well. Um, let me see. If can I just clear my search? Is there a way to do that? Uh, any price, bedrooms and baths, any home type. I'm gonna see how Zillow handles multifamily search here compared to the MLS. It's just gonna take me a second, um, but I just want to see how they do. I know I'm not showing my screen right now. It's just that I want to not share everything that I'm not supposed to share here. So just give me 1 minute. I want residential income. We want Ventura County. So the MLS says there's 22 and Zillow says there's 20. So we are missing at least 2 on Zillow. Which 2 are we missing? We got those 2. We got that one. Oh, we're missing the ones in Thousand Oaks. Okay. So we're going to use the MLS for this one more than Zillow because the MLS is not right. Or sorry, Zillow is not right. So let's go ahead and share this up again. Share screen. Chrome tab. Residential. There we go. Share. All right. So here we are looking at the MLS and our whole list of properties here. Now, these are all of the residential incomes. There's always going to be commercial properties, other things like that. For this client in particular, they want a residential income and they want to basically house hack. They want to live in one and rent out the others. So we want to find something with a decent cap rate. We don't want to break the bank. Not to say that like a 6.1 million isn't worth it. It's a good deal, but it does have to be 4 bedrooms or less to qualify for FHA, among other things. And even still getting into a $6 million property as your first one would be kind of a lot, right? So one of the first things I want to filter out here, if I edit my search, is I want to make sure that we are looking at, where's my units? Well, first of all, no senior communities. We're not doing that. And the total number of units in the complex needs to be a maximum of 4 for FHA guidelines. And that brings us just 11 results. That's really weird. Why did the ones in Thousand Oaks disappear? Do those have more than 4 units in them? What is that one? That's not put in right. There's no way. Hold on. What is this? It's a duplex. See, again, this is where you can make a lot of money, and you've got to be careful with your filters because, like, this listing here, no idea if it's priced right. No idea. But what they even take a picture of? Is that a net? They like took a picture of the house under a net? Weird. So this is a duplex, but it's not marked, but it's in the MLS as more than 4 units. So whoever put it in the MLS did it funky, which is where the big money is, right? So let's see. So unit 1 has 4 bedrooms and 1 bath. Unit 2 has 2 bedrooms and 2 bath. So when we're trying to figure out what an investment property is a good deal, hold on, let's stop sharing this and let's go back here and share screen. And we'll just share the whole Chrome tab. Chrome tab? No. The whole window, this guy. Sure. Okay, so when we're looking at investment properties, what we're really caring about is cap rate. And if you want to know what cap rate is, it's just your monthly income, annual income compared to total purchase price. So, for example, if you bought a $100,000 property and it paid you $5,000 a year, that would be a 5% cap rate. So, we want to look at how much this place brings in compared to how much this place costs, right? So, the main reason I'm kind of hyper focusing on this one is because, first of all, 244 days. They gotta want to sell it, right? And then it's also put in wrong. I'm wondering why it didn't show up as a 2-bedroom. That's one of ours too with EXP. I'll have to talk to him about it. So let's take a look at this one and let's figure out what price makes sense. So to do this, the easiest, cheapest, cheatingest way to do this is to just look up cap rate calculator. Cap rate calculator. And there's a ton of them. It really doesn't matter which one you pick. There's slight differences in between. But this one here is listed for 1.35. 1.35. 135. That's the right number of zeros. Right number of zeros. Do they give us a gross income? Again, things that you should always put on your listing is what the at least pro forma rent would be. That means what the rent you hypothesize should be for the unit. Having no rental price on there is an argument that like every investor should know, but not every investor knows every neighborhood. Like even me, I don't necessarily know what the rental prices are exactly in Oxnard. I've got an idea, but I don't know exactly. So we do know we have a 2-bed, 2-bath. 2-bed, 2-bath is going to be in the neighborhood of like 2,800, 2,400. So let's just call it 2,700 to be safe, right? And then the 4-bedroom, that's going to probably be in the neighborhood of like 35, let's say. Maybe you could get away with slightly less. But I'm going to say 35 is a round number. So, we're looking at 3,500 plus 2,700. So this place is going to make around $6,200 a month times 12. So it's going to make around 74,400 a year. And you divide that by the 134, let's call it 1,350, the 1.35 million. You have a 5.5 cap rate. Now here's the deal. The cap rate is your return. So if you're getting a 5% return, but interest rates right now are 6.5%, you're not making any money. Okay. So for most people, most investors, you want to see the interest rate be the cap rate be at least 1% higher than the interest rate, ideally 2 or more. And right now, most people are getting rates at around 7, right? Maybe 6.5. So we really want to see like an 8 cap rate, 8.5 cap rate would be pretty nice. Worst case, like a 7.5. So right now, this place is super, super overpriced. No wonder it's sitting on the market. What would be a fair price for it? Every investor is a little bit different. Let me see if we do 1.35. So we take 1.35 million, we multiply that. I'm sorry, not 1.35 million. We take our 3,500 plus 2,700 for for the rent. So we take our $6,200 a month times 12. So we take our 74K a year. If we divide that by 0.0, what's the minimum I would want for this? Probably like 7.5, really. So if we had a 7.5 cap rate, which I'm still not sure would necessarily make sense, then the place would be worth $1 million. So I probably wouldn't even consider this place unless it was under $1 million. So that one's really not a good deal, even with all the other issues. It's just not worth it. Let me see here. I want to make sure I didn't mess up my whole stream. There we go. So yeah, that one, not worth it. Not a good deal. Let's see if any of the newer ones on the market are a better deal. Can we sort these by new? Status, ascending. Is that really one of the newer ones, or do I have it backwards? Are these the newest ones down here? Man, these are sitting. Any less than 30 days, because we've that one's questionable, but oh high. I don't think my guy went so high. 215. So, most of these properties are sitting for this exact reason. A lot of investors are we're going to stop sharing screen for a second. A lot of these investors are very much looking for top dollar when they're selling, but the cap rate has to make sense when other folks are buying. So they're just sitting for a long time. We've seen a lot of these up for almost a year. So, as I'm looking at these, I'm realizing that, there's nothing new. There's nothing new. There's two new listings, but one's, yeah, they're just not right. That's in Ventura. I don't think any of these are going to be for my client. So with that, we're going to call it for today. But if you have something that you are looking for, you know what to do. Call Castro and let's see if we can find you a home or a good deal or an investment or whatever it is. Because, we've always got to do these sniff tests when we're looking at homes. So if you guys need anything else in the world, call Castro and I'll talk to you soon.